So we just got dropped off here at the airport, and it's about 2 hours until our airplane leaves, and we're heading off to Chicago for a layover, and then we're going to be going to Frankfurt, and then we're going to be arriving in Paris tomorrow at approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're going to see how that goes. We just got to our gate. We're at gate number 8. We're going to be flying to Chicago, and we're 2 hours early. So I guess we're just going to sit here. Maybe we'll watch this plane that's behind me about to take off. They're about to go to Denver. I bet that's going to be fun, but we're going to see how it goes. So our plane just arrived, and we're supposed to board in about 30 minutes. So I guess we're going to give them some time to load up the luggage, and we're going to hop on board. It's actually a pretty small plane today. I don't know what model that is. I don't really know anything about airplanes, but it looks like it can fly, so that's a good sign. Our flight attendant just gave us more snacks than she gave the other passengers. We got first class snack, and then shrimp waffle and some pretzels. I just noticed with my Dr. Pepper, I just finished it and I put it on my little tray, and we're descending right now. And this right here shows the pressure change of the descent. It's squeezing the bottle to where it's skinnier than usual. We are currently going over Lake Michigan, but you can't hardly see it, but there's the lake. Look at this. Okay, so we just made it to our next terminal that we're going to. We're going to Frankfurt, Germany, and our last flight was pretty easy and good. It was about an hour long, just from Little Rock to Chicago. This one's about 12 hours long, and they're supposed to give us some food, so we're going to see how good that food tastes. Now, they did give us some first class snacks on our last plane. That was pretty good, so we're going to go see how it goes. So we just got our airplane food. They gave me a Diet Coke. This is Donald Trump style. I got spicy chicken. It's in here. I'm gonna open it up in a second and see how it tastes. They also gave me a little salad and this. It's a cheesecake brownie. So we're gonna see how that tastes. I also got myself a roll. This goes like MRE style, so we're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so I'm about to try some of the spicy chicken fries. And it's right here. It tastes pretty good. The chicken is very moist, and the rice is cooked to perfection. So I can't wait to enjoy this meal. This is going to be our 1:30 a.m. breakfast. It's turkey, ham, egg, and cheese sandwich. And I also have a Diet Coke for dinner. And they might bring me a coffee to drink as well, so I can get some caffeine in my system. We just got to Frankfurt and I got about 30 minutes of sleep on the plane ride over here, which it was overnight. It's 10 o'clock right now and it's 3 o'clock back home. So I'm super tired, but we now have a flight from Frankfurt to Paris and it leaves in about an hour or two. So we're gonna go to that terminal now. We finally made it to Paris, and unlike Las Vegas, instead of escalators everywhere, in this airport they have a bunch of people movers, and we're going up and down and all around in these people movers to our baggage claim. We're going to see if our bags are actually here. We're actually having problems with the baggage claim, and that dude had to crawl up in there to unstuck some bags. I guess that's what happened. So maybe it'll work now. It looks like they fixed the problem. Maybe our bags will come out now. We were successful in getting our bags, which is a good sign, because I was worried they might lose them since we did have to change 3 planes. But now we're gonna head over to the hotel and maybe find us some dinner to eat. I'm really hungry. I skipped out on lunch. Oh, it was black. So yesterday was mainly just a rest day, and we got woken up at like 11 at night, and it was because everybody was celebrating some sort of soccer game or something. I guess they won, so they're shooting fireworks off in the street. But we just went and got some type of weird pain chocolate thing, so we're gonna see how this tastes. It tastes like bread and chocolate, so I guess it's good. I also got myself a ham sandwich with cheese on it. Looks like this. I ate that other thing. Made it to where I was really thirsty, but there's nothing to drink, so we'll have to go somewhere to find something to drink. But we'll see how this tastes. It just tastes like cold ham, cheese, and really bready. I'll try and eat it all. We're currently about to head over to the Louvre. Yesterday, all we really did was walk around. We saw a couple of things, but we were supposed to go walk over to the Eiffel Tower, except we couldn't because the police had all the roads around the Eiffel Tower and Arc de Triomphe blocked off because there was supposed to be a parade honoring the soccer guys that won their championship thing. But today we're going to go see some artwork. I think we're going to go see the Mona Lisa and some other things. I mean, we're going to find out. See what all that stuff looks like. So I'll take this camera with me and I'm going to take some video. We're right here beside the Louvre and I just got me a sandwich chaude from this little French cafe. I don't know what's on it, but it was a sandwich and it looked like it had some ham on it. So I needed my protein for the morning. There we go, sandwich chaude. I also got a lemon tart citron or something like that. It looked good, so I was gonna try it. So we're gonna see how this goes. Here's a better look at what's inside the sandwich. Looks like there's some ham and then some cheese in there. I don't know what that vegetable is, so we're gonna try it. Here we go, we're gonna try this sandwich. It tastes like a sandwich. It's not like Subway, but it tastes like a sandwich. I've already took a bite out of my lemon citron thing, or my tart citron. It tastes like, it has a little taste of lemon, and it has a hard bread on the outer layer. It's pretty good. We just got here to the Louvre, and as you can see, there is a bunch of statues up here. And over here, they do have a golden statue. I don't know who that person is, but I think that iconic pyramid is over there and the line starts over there. So we need to go get in line so we can get inside. We've made it here inside the Louvre and they have a bunch of paintings up on the ceiling and everything. I don't know who painted these things, but it's pretty cool. It's a big place. Here is where a bunch of Catholic paintings are, and it's just a big long room of a bunch of paintings. Here's what they look like. They're all different. And then they have a plaque that tells you what exactly they are. It's pretty interesting. We just finished our tour of the Louvre and then we sat down in the park for a couple minutes, let our feet rest, and then now we're crossing the Seine River or something and we're gonna go over to the Notre Dame Cathedral. I don't know where it's at, but somewhere behind me, so we're gonna go see what that looks like. So we did make it out here to the Notre Dame Cathedral. If you do remember, it did catch on fire a couple years ago, but I mean, it looks pretty normal now. I think they're repairing it, but there you go, Notre Dame Cathedral.
Vous êtes bénie entre toutes les femmes, et Jésus, le fruit de vos entrailles, est béni. Sainte Marie, Mère de Dieu, priez pour nous pauvres pécheurs, maintenant et à l'heure de notre mort. Amen. Je vous salue Marie, pleine de grâce.
So we just decided to walk over here to this Eiffel Tower. We walked all the way from the Notre Dame, and it's actually pretty big in person. I didn't think it was that big, but it is pretty cool. So we're gonna just go look at it and maybe walk back to the hotel. Here's what the Eiffel Tower looks like a little bit closer. It is actually pretty big, and it's pretty interesting. It's bigger than the one in Las Vegas, I can tell you that. I got a steak for dinner today. I just got a croissant, and the breading is very crisp. It also has some ham and cheese inside of it, and so far I like it. So we just rode the subway for about an hour, and we finally made it out here to Versailles. It's actually bigger than you think it is. There's supposed to be some gardens on the other side, and I don't know where all we're gonna walk when we get inside, but it's supposed to be a pretty cool thing to look at. We just walked through the Palace of Versailles. It had a bunch of interesting rooms with a bunch of gold plating on the walls and stuff, and a bunch of paintings on the walls and on the ceiling is of like all the kings that lived there or something. Now we're walking through the garden to see what it looks like. It's pretty interesting. They have a big pond out there. I don't think it's stocked with fish, but maybe we'll find out. There's the pond I was talking about. Pretty big 1 acre pond, all the mowed grass and different bushes and stuff. We walked over here, and it's more of the garden, and over here they have several fountains, and I think there's some type of big lake type thing over there, and it looks pretty interesting and pretty cool. Want a picture? So we're just got into the rental car, and we got a sandwich. I guess this is called a baguette bread or something, and it has some ham in there. It's pretty plain, but it's all that they have. So we're leaving Paris now, and we're heading to Asnails, which actually the British infantry invaded there during World War II. So we're gonna go up and down. Maybe we're gonna go towards Omaha Beach later this week, and we're gonna do a tour there. There's supposed to be a parade. It is the 81st anniversary coming up on June the 6th. So we're gonna see what all they have in tail for us to see there and learn about all the history. We currently made it out here to the city of Asnails. This is on the Gold Beach portion of the beaches of Normandy. This is where the British stormed the beaches, and to our further east is Sword and Juneau. Juneau is where the Canadians stormed the beaches, and Sword is where the British did. And then on to the west is Omaha, Utah, where the United States forces stormed the beaches. So it's pretty interesting to be out here, and it's pretty cool. We will continue to learn some more history throughout the 4 days in the Normandy region. So French people just brought a track of international onto the beach to launch their boat. It's over there. I'm guessing they're going to go fish the English Channel. I have no idea what type of fish are out there, but I wish them luck. Hope they catch themselves some fish. We're over here in Bayeux, France, and I just got the MAGA pizza, and it has some ham and some cheese on it, plus this green stuff that I don't know what it's called. So we're gonna see what it tastes like. We're gonna try the pizza now. Here it is. I got my sliced pizza. It tastes a little different than American pizza, but Overall, I think it's pretty good. You can definitely tell that there's ham there, but overall, I think it's good. Under further review, after eating about half the pizza, I did decide it does have a unique taste that, I mean, if you really like French food, you would like it, but if you're used to American pizza, it might not be exactly American pizza. So, I'd give this probably, I don't even know, probably 3 out of 10. That's your Dave Portnoy's rating right there. So, it's not like American pizza. Here is the plants that they have out here in the Normandy region of France. I have no idea what these plants are called, but they have several of them. Here's what these look like, and then there's some over there that they look like this. I don't know what they are. Pretty interesting plants though. At least they don't have to deal with a bunch of levees and rice fields. They're pretty lucky. I've also seen a bunch of corn, and I think I've seen, it's some type of pea type of plant. It's not behind me, but I don't know what it's called. There goes the car. But pretty interesting plants out here in the Normandy region of France. Jay Gunter got here, and we found a duck in the Normandy region of France, and he's crashing out. Here we go. Greenhead action, curls for girls in Normandy, France. Right here. I just got some fish and chips. I don't know what type of fish this is, but I do know the chips are actually French fries. So we'll see how it tastes. We're gonna go ahead and try this piece of fish. It looks like it's pretty crisp, but I don't know what type of fish it is. The fish tastes very good. We're over here at the Overlord Museum in Collegeville-sur-Mer and the Normandy region of France. And we're looking at all this stuff that they have on the outside. Here's a Sherman recovery vehicle. They use these on the beaches and during action during World War II to go up to the broken down tanks and to repair them. It's pretty interesting, and there is some holes along the sides and on the other side. I'm guessing where it got shot at during action. So if you see on this side, all the holes, I'm guessing it got shot at by the Germans shot at it while it was doing its job, or at least trying to. Pretty interesting. Here is a German machine gun fortification that they shot with MG-42s or MG-34 machine guns out of at the American troops as they stormed Omaha Beach here in Collegeville-sur-Mer. This one right here was moved because they had to do road work at a specific location, so they moved it over here to this museum for people to look at. And if we walk inside of it, here is what it looked like on the inside. And this is where the German with the machine gun stood, and he shot at the Allied troops as they came up the beaches from this hole with his MG-34 or MG-42 machine gun. Here is a German 88mm anti-air, anti-tank cannon. They used these during the Allied invasion of the Normandy beaches during World War II. They also, I think, used these over in the Battle of Berlin and the surrounding areas while the Americans bombed the crap out of the Germans to destroy their aircraft producing plants and other type of things like that. They were sort of effective, and it's pretty interesting. This one was used during World War II, I think, and it was decommissioned afterwards. Pretty interesting. They have a couple of other United States tanks over here at this museum, such as the M10 right here and the Sherman right over there. These were both used during World War II. Pretty interesting artifacts. By far, this museum is very interesting. They have a couple of vehicles like the Sherman, this Higgins boat over here, and they have dioramas showing what it looked like on D-Day. They also have information plaques telling you about the vehicles and what happened, such as over there, a bunch of them, and just overall a bunch of stuff in here. We're over here at Omaha Beach, which is right there behind me, and over here is 2 German bunkers that they used to fight the Americans as they invaded the beaches of Normandy, which Omaha Beach, and a bunch of Americans died here, but they successfully took out the Germans and continued to liberate Europe with the help of the British and the Canadians over at Sword, Juno, and Gold Beach further to the east. But we also noticed over here there is a beaten path. Let's see what it is. And look at that. After a short walk, there is a bunker right there. I'm gonna go down there and see what it looks like on the inside. I climbed on the inside of this bunker, which I don't see anything unless there's stuff further down there, but I have my good clothes on, so I'm not gonna crawl down there. I don't think nothing's down there, but if you look up, there is a hole. So I'm thinking this is a forward observation bunker used by the Germans to observe the beachhead so they can give guidance to their hidden artillery to fire at the troops or at the ships that are far off so they can give them proper coordinates. Pretty interesting. There's just multiple concrete embankments inside of this cliff face. This one has writing in it saying it's an observation post, which when you look in there, it got blown to smithereens. So, yeah. Over there was a observation post, and then walking a couple yards this way, back from the beach, there is this bunker right here. So I'm guessing it was either used for a machine gun to hide out and shoot the Americans as they came up the beach. So as the Americans were storming the beaches, there was naval boats further out in the English Channel, and they were shooting shells at these bunkers to try and kill the Germans. And right here is one of the craters made from the shell. A little bit further away from my last little snippet about the machine gun is this bunker for the troops. It's a pretty big room, a little bit bigger than your standard bedroom in the United States. It'd probably house a good bit of troops. As you can see, little bunk beds ran wall to wall, and I guess it was 3 high, and they lived in here so they could shoot at the Americans. We came out here to this monument for the 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, and here's the names of all the people that died on D-Day as they invaded this. As I was saying, this is a monument for the Big Red One, or the 1st Infantry Division of the United States Army, honoring those who died on D-Day, June the 6th, 1944. I thank them for their service. Right here is where one of the Germans' massive cannons were, and they shot out of this window onto the beach as the Americans came up. But it appears the Americans did make it to this encampment, and they blew a hole right through that concrete wall. Pretty interesting. Here is another monument as well, honoring the 5th Engineer Special Brigade of the United States military, honoring all of those that died on D-Day. I thank them for their service. This plaque is honoring the combat medics who helped save lives during D-Day on this very beach, Omaha Beach. I thank them for their service. We were just driving around and we noticed on the side of the road there's a monument commemorating Major Richard Winters, or Dick Winters, from the 101st Airborne, which a bunch of people might know him from the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers. He is actually a pretty cool dude and a great leader. I thank the 101st Airborne for their service. We're out here at Point de Hoc, and as you can see behind me, they even have the monument gated off. But we are here at about 9 o'clock at night, so we're thinking maybe if we come back tomorrow, they might allow us to come look at this stuff. But even the bunker that's underneath this concrete right here, we can't even enter it. It's locked off. So maybe it's just because it's late at night, so we're going to come back tomorrow and see if we can enter it. But the history of Point de Hoc is one of these cliff faces, either that one or the one that's back here. The Rangers, the Army Rangers during D-Day, they climbed up the cliff and they had to come over here and take out all of these bunkers because it was a major German defensive thing, because they could shoot out at the beaches and they could shoot out at our ships, making it to where we couldn't take over the Normandy area. So they had to do it. I just got up here to the top of the bunker, looking over at Point de Hoc, and you can see Utah Beach over there, and then you can also just past that cliff face over there is Omaha Beach, and out there is where all of the Navy ships would be. This was a very crucial point of the defense of the Normandy beaches by the Germans, so they put gigantic bunkers with big guns right here to shoot out at the ships, and I think even at the beaches. So the Army Rangers climbed up the cliff faces so they could take these out. Pretty interesting. So this marker is the marker of where the Patton's 3rd Army walked, and it goes all the way to Bastogne, Belgium. And this is the original one, but if you go down the roads and you see the yellow ones, they're plastic because a bunch of people wrecked into them, so they just switch them up. So this bunker right here is from World War II, and as you can see, those are the original windows. They are covered up, but that was because when the Allies had their reconnaissance planes fly overhead, they didn't really see the bunker. They thought that was part of the house. So the Germans were trying to trick the Allies, but we still beat them. So we're here on Utah Beach, which actually Point de Hoc is over there, which the Germans could have shot at the beach with their cannons, but the Rangers destroyed them. But if you can see the black thing that's out there, that's the low tide marker, and the tide actually goes all the way up to these dunes. But these dunes were not here during the war. They were built after the war to help protect the further inland, like all the fields, because it's a very swampy region, so they didn't want to mess up their fields. So those dunes were built to protect the land. And this was a pretty successful landing spot compared to Omaha. We're over here where the Battle of Ophir took place, and it has a little map of this house and this bridge right here where the bazooka team set up, which actually right over there is that bridge, and the Germans set up a defense over at that house over there, and they sent tanks over to try and destroy the American people, the paratroopers, but the bazooka team and an anti-tank gun, they shot the tanks, and then they tried to do a counterattack, but they failed and had to retreat. And this all lasted until June the 9th, when the American infantry from Utah Beach finally met up with the 82nd Airborne. 254 Americans were killed here. Please. We just finished our World War II tour. It was very good. We went to Utah Beach, Omaha Beach, the American Cemetery, St. Mary Eglise, and some other places as well. I really recommend that tour. But we just stopped in Bayou to get some ice cream at this place called Mustache or something, and it's pretty good. I got the lemon one and some caramel one to try it out. The lemon one, I mean, it doesn't taste like a lemon, but it tastes like a citron. That's what they call it. Call it citron. It's a little bit different. And then the caramel, I haven't gotten to it yet, but we'll see how good it tastes. Under further review, I do say the caramel flavor is pretty interesting. I don't know if I like it or dislike it, but I mean, it's pretty interesting. I just got the rabbit, and we're gonna see how it tastes. So we're gonna try the rabbit. It's very tender. It has a good flavor from the broth they boiled it in. It tastes very good. I recommend it.
That was kind of our role, to evacuate the guys that got hit. War is a kind of a waste of time.
Tendre Perlet, qui en avait grand besoin à ce moment-là.
It's day 9 of our trip, and we just hopped on a train to go to Brussels. We left this morning from Asnelles to Paris, and we returned our rental car. It's supposed to be an hour and a half long train ride to Brussels. We're supposed to stay in Brussels a couple of days, and then we're going to go down to Bastogne and look at what happened down there. And yesterday I forgot to video day 8, but we did get to meet some heroes, some World War II heroes. One of them was Mr. Jean and Mr. Robert. Mr. Jean was a medic during World War II, and Mr. Robert was part of the U.S. Army. He was a Belgian who joined the U.S. Army, and he was also part of the Belgian Special Forces. Overall, I really liked meeting those World War II heroes. It was an excellent experience, and I'm glad I got to complete my mission, which was to meet some World War II veterans. We also got to meet Mr. Lester on day 7, which I forgot to video, but he was a ball turret gunner during World War II, and he got shot down the day before D-Day, and then he turned into a prisoner of war, and he participated in the 82-day death march and survived, and we got to meet that World War II hero as well. It was excellent to meet him. I'm very glad that we got to do it. It was part of my mission to come over to the Normandy region on the 81st anniversary and meet a World War II veteran, which I'm glad that I got to meet him. So yesterday I talked about how we were heading to Brussels on the train. The train ride was pretty good. We arrived after an hour and a half, and we spent the night in Brussels. And then this morning we drove out here to Bastogne, Belgium, and this is where the Allies are, and the 101st Airborne Division of the United States Army, they dug in some foxholes and withstood the German advance to try and retake this region during the Battle of Bulge. A big battle took place here with a lot of Allied casualties, but they still beat the Germans and continued on their way, liberating Germany and ending World War II. Here is what the foxholes look like, and this is where the Allied soldiers of the 101st Airborne Division of the United States Army dug in. There's foxholes all along here, and there's some continuing out off that way, and then there's some also behind me. And they had to sit here, and they dug in, trying not to die from the German advance, and they successfully did that. After a couple days, they finally got some more supplies, and they continued on. So if you remember earlier in the video, I talked about how there's this mile marker at Utah Beach. Well, we are currently at Bastogne, Belgium, and as you can see, this is kilometer number 1147, and this followed the trail of General Patton and his army here to Bastogne, going through several countries, going through France to Luxembourg and up to Belgium, where they came here to help out the 101st Airborne and the siege of Bastogne. We're here in Belgium. I forgot the video today, but it is supper time, and I got a waffle burger. It's I took a bite out of it. Well, actually, I couldn't take a bite. I had to get my knife and cut me a little triangle piece, and it's very sweet, and then it has a meaty taste to it. I actually sort of think it's pretty good. There's an apple on the bottom of it. I don't know what to think about the apple, but I really like it. It's like pretty sweet and meaty. We're over here at Brussels Airport. I haven't really videoed the past 2 days. There wasn't really anything to video in Brussels, so I haven't really talked about anything since Bastogne. But we're heading to Krakow right now. We have a layover in Munich, and I think it's just an hour, so it's pretty light. So we're gonna see how that goes, and tomorrow we're supposed to go to Auschwitz-Birkenau, and then we have some other things that we're supposed to do in Krakow, and we're heading back to the USA. Alright, so we checked into our hotel about an hour ago, and then we came here to get something to eat because we skipped breakfast and lunch. It's 4 o'clock right now, and we got it's some type of hash brown type thing and some beef goulash and some type of cheese. I'm gonna see what this tastes like. So I'm about to try the hash browns first, but if you look behind me, there is a cool elk that's carved out of wood. Pretty cool. Here's the hash browns. We'll see how it tastes. It tastes like hash browns. It has an interesting flavor though, but I think it's overall pretty good. But I mean, I never had a hash browns other than for breakfast type food, or maybe breakfast for dinner. Now we'll try the beef goulash. It's pretty warm, and I got a piece of this green thing in it. It tastes pretty good.
Quiero monólogo, hermana, si puedo monólogo.
So we just walked from all the way down there, and there's a fence over there by a brick building, and it separates the slaves from the extermination camps. So there's a work camp over there, and then here's the extermination. Here's one gas chamber that's been demolished. Here's another one. And there's a couple more off in the forest. And yeah, that's where they killed 800,000 people in 2 years. So this long line of bricks right here, this is where the Jews had to get ready for extermination. And then over there, as you can zoom in, right there, that's the gas chamber, and that's where they were killed. And then that's where they burned them, and then that's where they dumped the ash where that grass is. This is all in ruins because the Germans blew it up 1 week before the Soviets came. So as you can see, there's 3 bunks, and there's supposed to be 4 women on each of the bunks because we're in the women's section. And this is a whole entire little stable type thing. It was supposed to hold 700 people, and they were that level, the brick level. They considered it the deadliest. And then also there's holes in the roof. And in the winter time, that was dangerous, but in the summer, they really like that. Here's the stove that heated up this place. But continuing on about the holes in the roof. I had to stop because I was blocking the tour guide's route. During the winter, all the cold air came in, and so if you're on the top bunk, you would have died due to hypothermia. But during the summer, it provided fresh air and some cool air. I just ordered this steak, medium rare. There's not really anything to say about it, but I did do a little taste test. It tastes pretty good. I really like it. It has a good sear on it, and it also comes with some peppers and some garlic or something. I don't know if I'm going to eat that or not, but it's actually pretty good. As you can see behind me, we've made it over here to Zakopane, Poland. We took a 3-hour train ride this morning. We left about 6:30, so we had to get up about real early, about 5 o'clock. And back behind me is the mountains. I don't know what they're called, but this is a little bitty town. I think it's a big ski town in the winter time. So we're gonna explore this place, maybe ride a gondola up to the top of the mountain or something like that, and see what it looks like. We just rode the first gondola up here, and now we're hopping onto a second one to ride further up the mountain. So we'll see how it goes. We're currently hiking up this mountain right here, and U.S. before, but nice. On the way up, we passed where the ski slopes were, but they also had a sign that said there's grizzly bears or something. So I'm guessing further out that way. Out here, there's probably some bears out in the valleys or something. Probably some type of deer or something. That'd be pretty cool to see one. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. But we're going to see how this view continues to get once we get further. So we've hiked up a little bit more of the mountain. As you can see, we're pretty high up there. And if we go to the left of me, over there on that mountain over there, there's still some snow from this last winter, and it's the middle of June right now. Pretty interesting. I think it's a pretty good view. I just climbed down that peak right there, and now I'm going to try and walk over here to that peak, but we are under a time that we have to get back to the gondola. It's an hour and 40 minutes, so who knows if I'm going to make it back. I might be stranded here tonight. Who knows? I just hiked from all the way over there, but I just got a call from my dad that I'm gonna have to join him back over there. So I couldn't go all the way up to the point, but that's fine. It's a pretty nice view anyways. Here's the other side as well. I think it's real pretty, and you can see there's some bodies of water down there. I don't think they're stocked with fish though. They're just ice runoff. And then there's also an airplane over there. I think it's pretty cool, but I'm gonna start hiking back now. Overall, I really thought that climb was real nice. I wish I could hike further, but the gondola people decided to give me some time on it, so I can spend as much time as I wanted to out here. Maybe in the future, maybe to where we can go elk hunting sometime and climb up in the Rockies and go shoot a big elk. Or maybe go out in Alaska and go caribou hunting or something. I think that'd be real fun. We'll see if we can get that worked out. We just hiked down the mountain to find a restaurant, and I just ordered some deer dumplings. I don't know what in the world they're going to taste like. I don't think they're going to taste like some normal white-tailed deer over in Arkansas. It might be tasting like a Polish deer. I have no idea. I'm going to grab a knife and cut one open so we can see what it looks like. Yeah, it's brown like some deer meat. So we're gonna see what this tastes like. I don't know what the outer shell is. It's very green, but I don't know. We're gonna try this. So we're about to try this right here and see what it tastes like. It has a very distinct flavor. I wouldn't say it tastes like fried deer meat over in the United States, but it does taste like meat, so that's a good thing. So I guess I'll eat the rest of my dumplings. After further review, I finished all my dumplings. They were pretty good, but it's hard to tell if it was actually made out of deer meat. It might have been just some beef that was mashed up and put into a dumpling. So I might want to stick with some fried deer meat at home, or maybe make it myself so I know it's actually deer meat, but it's pretty good. So I'm finally decided to go through all this European trip footage. It is actually October now. About to start going hunting, but I actually going through the salt mine footage in Poland. Turns out I forgot to talk, so I don't know why I did that. I guess I was too invested in learning about the salt mine and stuff like that. But the following footage I'm about to show you is from the salt mine. It was a pretty cool spot in Krakow, Poland. I don't know how to pronounce the salt mine. It's like starts with W or something. Polish is really hard to it's hard to learn, and it's hard to like speak the language, but we went to the salt mine, and here's some footage of that. So what I just showed you was it was a little diorama of how they pulled the salt barrels up out of the mine. I forgot how deep the mine was, but it was pretty deep. We climbed down some steps and then we just walked around. But it showed that the horses spun in circles, and it was some sort of mechanism pulling up the barrels of salt. It was pretty cool to see dioramas of how that worked. So, and then we continued on walking through the salt mine. So that church that I just showed you was in the salt mine. It was called the Holy Cross Chapel. It's about same size as your normal Baptist church down in the south. About, I don't know, 15 pews on either side. Pretty cool. They still hold service in there. and then we continue walking to later find out that there's another church, and it's pretty big. So that was the big church that I was talking about, and as you can see, the walls and everything was made out of salt, even the floor. That's because the boss of the salt mine actually allowed his employees on their off days to come down and make themselves a church. That's how good of a boss he was, giving them a good amount of pay and stuff like that. And they even went into the walls and carved out a couple stories from the Bible, such as the birthing of Jesus Christ at Bethlehem, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, and also the Last Supper and some other stuff like that. And that was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. And yes, they do still, I think, hold service there, and even a couple people go down there and they have weddings and stuff like that down there. So I think that's pretty cool, and it's definitely one of the coolest churches I've been to. So yesterday we went and got some deer meat that I don't think was exactly deer meat, but we came to this restaurant over here, and I just ordered me some duck breast. I have no idea if it's going to taste like a greenhead out of the Arkansas timbers, but we're going to try it and see what it tastes like. I just cut that one piece in half, and I can 100% say that this is duck meat. I mean, it's not very strong like the greenheads or the teal that might fly over the rivers in Arkansas, but it's probably some farm-raised duck right there, and it tastes pretty good. Overall, I'm really glad we had the opportunity to go out to France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Poland, and Slovakia. It's always been something I wanted to do, to go meet some World War II veterans and go visit some World War II sites, which this was a perfect opportunity, going to the 81st anniversary of D-Day. And so I was able to meet Mr. Lester, Mr. Gene, and Mr. Robert, all World War II veterans. It was also a great opportunity to go out to Poland, which I've always wanted to go out there because actually on my mother's side, we are Polish. So I got like an eighth of Polish in me. So also we went earlier this year to go meet my great uncle, who is 100% Polish. He is on my mom's side. So here is a photo of me, my great uncle, and my mom. He is 97 years old. So that was a great experience getting to meet him and going out to Poland and see what that stuff looks like as well. So really glad we got to go do that. And this opportunity was made because I was able to successfully accomplish a bet that was put on by another person. So I'm glad that we were able to do that. And also going through the footage, I did notice in the windier parts of my videos, such as in the Normandy region and in the mountains, you couldn't really hear what I was saying, which I still put the footage in there, but that does remind me I need to invest in one of those things that go over the camera or on your chest that makes it where you can understand what the person's saying a little bit better, especially in the windier conditions. Because it picks up on your voice or something, it like muffles out those other sound or something like that. So I might get one of those. And also upcoming videos, I might have the opportunity to go out to Texas, go turkey hunting, deer hunting, duck hunting. That's still always on the table. And I think we're still going up to Iowa to go pheasant hunting this year with my dad's fraternity brothers, which that should be a great experience like always. I'm really glad we get to go do that. And so I don't know what deer are out there on my cousin's farm because our trail cameras stopped working. But we just went to Bass Pro, just got back from Bass Pro actually, and we bought a new trail camera. So we're gonna see how that one works. We're gonna put it out tomorrow. And also I have some other videos lined out. We might be doing some building content in the future. That is if I ever go out to the job site and actually video. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But overall, thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Watch out for some more of my content, and have a great day.